Aloha gang, Dr. Russ Rosen here. Sorry I'm late. I'm 7 minutes late, and I was trying to get on for the last 10 minutes and it would not let me do it. I went to two different computers and blah, blah, blah. But I'm here now. So good news. I'm going to scroll down and make sure that that's looking like that it is. And let me just check one more thing to make sure that it is live. Wow, there is something wrong, that's for sure. It's taken forever. Going into a different browser. Give me one more sec. I just want to make sure it's actually happening here. Good, it is. Okay, good. So, go ahead and let me know if you're here. And I'm going to type right. Oh, wow, it's gone now. And this is crazy. Let me know if you are here and or if you have any questions, and I will go ahead and check those after I give my wrap. Okay. So here's the deal. We are going to talk about the importance of certainty, and here's what I know to be true. Um, I know you all want to help as many people as you can. You want to be able to make good money for your efforts. You want to be able to thrive in practice and really have a wonderful life. I want that for you too. But we also have concerns. And those concerns are that we may not be getting the results that we've hoped for, or we're not making the money that we hope for, or we're burnt out, or we're frustrated that we don't that we get such great results, but our patients just don't get it. They don't value it. That we try all these different things to bring in new patients, but they don't work. And some of us have, horrible staff problems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what I want to talk to you about today is the foundation of all of this, the foundations of all of this. And if we stand a chance of fixing any of these problems, um, and have the practice and the life that we want, we're going to have to go ahead and change it right between our ears. We need to clean it up right between our ears, which is our headspace and our certainty. So, my experience is when we clear up this headspace stuff that we're going to be talking about right now, and we get clear on our certainty, we have the biggest paradigm shift. So to me, it comes down to this: your certainty is the foundation of everything else you do, period. It's the difference between a white belt hitting a brick and a black belt hitting the brick. White belt breaks her hand, black belt breaks the brick. They look the same until they hit the brick. So once we're certain and we have clarity about what it is that we do, we can learn to communicate it. We can learn to market it. We can learn to grow it. We can learn to take it to the next levels, bring on more staff, bring on associates, open more offices, go to scale. But we have to clarify what it is first. So it affects every procedure, everything of what your office looks like, what you offer, who you hire, how you communicate, how you market. It's all dependent on your certainty. Now, most people don't think they need it. When I talk with people, most people say, I don't need it. I'm clear about who I am and what I do, etc. My experience is once we dive in, once we really dive in, we find that very few people are. And my experience also is even those of us who have spent a lot of time, and I have spent a lot of time on this, there's always more home. There's Homer. There's unraveling more contradictions that we have between what our belief systems are and how we actually practice what we're putting out into reality versus our thought process. So it doesn't matter where you're at right now. You could be really successful. You could just be starting out. You could be having challenges right now. You could be thriving right now. It doesn't matter where you're at. There's always room to clean up our certainty and get more clear between our ears. Always home and Homer. Um, I hear it all the time. As soon as we get clear about who we are, what we do, why we do, what we don't do, why we don't do those other things, people just start to come out of the woodwork. Thursday, I'll be doing this in the club where we'll be having a very detailed discussion about this. And I'm bringing on some of my one on one coaching clients that I've been through this with. And every single time we go through this and we get some clarity, we get a God wink. We get the cosmic AT&T, the coconut wireless, sending us patients. They come out of the woodwork, new patients, referrals, reactivations. It's just the universe letting us know we're moving in the right direction. And I promise you, you can have it too. So, I look at what are the top practices in the world have in common. Well, they're all technique freaks, right? They get great results with their patients. That's not true. There's lots of technique freaks that get great results that are dying on the vine. They're just not making it. And there's lots of people out there that are thriving that are average, right? I mean, there's a bell curve. We can't all be the best. So, there's some average people out there, even less, that are doing really, really well. Well, they have great relationships with patients. For those of you who are chiropractors and you've been around any of the old time, old gruff chiropractors, lay down, do what I said to do, blah blah. They didn't have great relationships at all, but they had thriving practices. Well, how did they do it? Well, it's your ability to communicate. I'm a great communicator. No, it's just not the truth, right? It's efficiency, it's systems. No, it's certainty. It comes down to certainty. I promise you, thriving practices, they have certainty. They're clear about who they are, what they do what they do, why they don't do other things, etc. So, what are some symptoms that we don't have certainty? Well, it's hard to ask for money, or we ask for money, but they got to go think about it. That's a real classic symptom that we don't have certainty. Our patients don't refer. Big one. We're anxious about doing exams or reported findings or re-exams or re-reports. We're uncomfortable giving healthcare talks or doing screenings. Those might be, now you might just have an aversion or fear about doing talks, but it might be a certainty issue. We're afraid to tell people what we know they need to hear. We're afraid to tell them the whole truth. We use scare tactics or manipulation to try and get them to follow our recommendations. We have problems sleeping at night. Now, that could be your pillow. It could be a bad bed, but it could be that you don't have certainty and you have contradictions and you have anxiety and worry about what you do versus what you tell people, etc. It could be that you are not thriving in practice as you wish you were. It could be a low acceptance rate, right? So I see 10 new patients and 3 sign up for care. That's a problem. That's a low acceptance rate. It could be a high dropout rate. They sign up for care, but they don't stay very long, right? The average retention out there is 20. I think that if you're really helping people get healthy and stay healthy, for most practices, I'd like to see it above 60. Obviously, you're doing NUCA, that might be a little bit less. But I like to see over 100, 200 PVA or retention. Self doubt, inner dialogue where you're doubting yourself. Big issue with certainty. Collection issues, trouble asking for money. What are the ones can you think of that you recognize you have certainty issues? So if you're not 100% congruent with every thought, word, deed, and action, you will have destruction in your life. I'm paraphrasing Ayn Rand. So if you do have, if you're not congruent, if you have contradictions, it's going to lead to destruction. And the level of destruction is relevant to the level of contradiction. Okay, so we have contradictions, we end up having destruction somewhere in our life. Might be in your practice, might be that you end up getting a divorce, etc., etc. So does any of that resonate with you? If so, go ahead and type in. If you're watching this on a replay, go ahead and type in. I will respond to you. Okay, so how do we acquire certainty? Fake it till you make it. Well, I hear it all the time. It doesn't work for me. I've never been able to pull it off. Most people just feel like a fake. So in my world, we have a formula. And again, Thursday in the club, if you're interested, you can join. Just come on in. And we're going to discuss this in extreme detail and actually help draw it out of you. I'm going to ask these questions to each person on the call and help draw it out of you. So we need to clarify what certainty is for you. We have different versions of reality of what certainty is to us. Is there a right one or a wrong one? No, it's all about finding your certainty and your truths, and it's different for all of us. It's certainly different for everybody I coach. You'll see I'm bringing on some of my docs who are thriving. They're waitlisted. People fly in to see them, etc. I think in all metrics, anybody would say these people are thriving, and you'll hear their level of certainty. We've worked through this stuff. I'm going to ask them these questions, and you'll get a hit of a black belt. What a black belt feels like when you get punched by one of them versus a white belt. So this is part of the formula. We need to clarify, who are you as a healthcare provider? I'm a chiropractor, naturopath, osteopath, acupuncturist, whoever you are. What is it that you do? What do you do? Who are you? Why do you do what you do? What makes you different from others? If you're a chiropractor, what is a subluxation? Critical question. Critical question. If you're doing anything other, if you're doing any of the AK based techniques, if you're doing brain based techniques, if you're doing any of those kinds of things, man, if you're talking pinch nerve, bone on nerve, you have serious contradictions, right? I mean, it's a state of disafferentation, disefferentation. And when you're doing techniques, where you do something on the bottom of the foot and someone's shoulder resets, you got to be able to explain that. Okay. If you're, an acupuncturist, is it a congestion of chi, right? If you're doing functional nutrition, is it a congestion of organs? Is it a oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? A nutritional deficiency? Like, why are you using nutrition, etc.? So, do you use supplements? If so, why? If not, why not? Do you use neuroemotional work? If so, why? If not, why not? Do you give lifestyle advice? If so, why? If not, why not? Do you use any therapies? If so, why? If not, why not? So I talk about an umbrella, and I see this all the time. I see doctors. I literally was having a conversation last week about this, last Monday, about this, where a doctor was saying, I tell them that they need to do this and they need to do chiropractic care, but they also need to do shockwave and they also need nutrition. And they'll say, I just want chiropractic. Okay, so in my world, I've got to look at what you do. Well, I help people get healthy, stay healthy, and have the best life possible. That's what I do. How do I do it? Well, I use these specific chiropractic techniques to cause these things in the nervous system and help people get healthy. I use neuroemotional techniques for these reasons. I use nutrition for these reasons. I use, shockwave for these reasons. I use PEMF for these reasons. These are the tools that I'm using to help you get healthy and stay healthy. If you don't do that, then people will think, well, I just don't need that. You've got to be able to explain how what you're doing and the tools you're using are helping them get healthy and stay healthy for a lifetime. So in the club, we're going to dive deep into this, extremely deep into it, where I will be drawing it out of you. I want to be asking you what you do, what you don't do. Do you do this? If so, why? If not, why not? You'll learn from others as we're having this conversation. And my experience is, it is one of the most powerful things we can do is get rid of these contradictions and clean these things up. So I'm just going to take a look. I don't have any questions there right now. If you do have any questions, please go ahead and comment. I'll wait about 5 or 6 seconds because there's always this delay. Okay, and if you have any questions, if you're watching this on replay, just go ahead and type that in. If you would like to join on Thursday, just put club below. I'll give you a month's access to absolutely everything. I have all of these kinds of things in there that you can just download for free. Just put club below and I'll give you access. Okay, hope you found that valuable. We're here next Tuesday, same time, 1:30 California time, and the following Tuesday, then we'll have a week off. We're dealing with next week, we're dealing with beginning communications. So understanding the neuroscience communications, then we'll be diving into the consultation. If you know other colleagues that you think would benefit from this free community, please let them know. As always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang.